Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Convert Me. My name is Scott Spenda, and today we are going to be going through Exodus 19 all the way to Exodus 34. And today I'm entering into a new covenant with God. I was going to skip this week's chapters because it has always been a subject to me that just I could not get into. The subject has always lost me. And thank you for joining me for my first episode of Convert Me. I am a new convert. I have been with the church for a little over a year. And this show is for all us converts who have a lot of work to do. And even more so, all the work that we have to put in and all the effort that we need to put in to see the light. And honestly, that can be said for all of us, I believe. Just because you know people that are born in the church and seems like faith comes so easy to them, I am here to tell you that I know a few people that have been born in the church and have been of goodly parents, and they lost their way, or they couldn't come to terms with their maker. So, in a way, we are all converts. But if you are thinking about being saved or recently been saved and need that extra encouragement to keep learning and to keep your faith strong to better your lives and the lives of people around you, then you are in the right place. Because that is exactly what happens when you give your life to Jesus. Your life becomes better. Sometimes instantly. Sometimes it takes longer. Now, at the risk of scaring you off, I'm going to share something with you. So we've been learning about Moses, and there had been a 40-year time span between revelations for Moses. The first revelation was to leave Egypt, right? I'm leaving Egypt. First revelation. Okay, God, now what? Okay, now what? Hello, now what? I think that we can all feel that way when we're hoping for some sort of sign or guidance or whatever it may be, and we're like, okay, so what now? Now for Moses, 40 years later, God says, hello, Moses. It is me, the I am. And it's coming from a burning bush. And that's how long sometimes I guess it can take. I don't know. Sometimes it happens instantly. I can tell you that for me, my life changed instantly. I didn't have to wait very long at all. And I hope your revelations are not that far apart. Because like I said, I saw my life change instantly. And I pray that for you. I want that for you. So let that happen for you. All right, so this week we are studying Exodus 19 to 34. And these are a lot of rules and regulations. And this subject has never interested me. It's this weirdest thing. And it's a tough read and can be hard to get through. And I'm thinking, I'm doing this podcast. I'm gonna do all of my scripture studies, and this is gonna be great for me. And hopefully, I can reach out and touch at least one person. So I'm getting all ready, and like I said, I'm new. I don't know what's coming to these scriptures. I didn't know what Exodus 19 to 34 brought. So I'm learning this as I go. And so I'm thinking, okay, let's do this. I'm going to get through this. We're going to study it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to have a great time. And boy, and wouldn't you know it, of course, this being my first episode of Scripture Study, and it is the rules and the regulations, my least favorite. I was getting into the Old Testament. I'm thinking, oh wait, why did I think so much negative things? Why did I think that I was so intimidated by the Old Testament when really the messages are really clear if put in, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of effort. It takes it takes me at least a lot of effort. But once I did that, it became very clear and simple, and I'm like, oh, I had no reason to fear the Old Testament. A lot of it's about covenants and just remembering that God loves us and He remembers us and He does not forget us. And so I'm in this streak. I'm like, oh, I understand this. I can do this. And then what happens? My first episode, rules and regulations. And I'm like, oh, why didn't I start this last week when Moses parted the Red Sea? You know what I mean? When all the Egyptian soldiers were chasing them, and it is a wild, action-filled scene. Shoots. I wish I started last week. And I was so close to skipping it. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not sure what happens Exodus 35, but it would probably be better than the rules and regulations. So I'm considering if I should skip it. And I decided to give it another try. And I received revelation, wouldn't you know it? And everybody here, everyone listening, everyone we know, we each have our own relationship with God. We each have our own relationship with studying scriptures. We each have our own relationship with how we view churches, how we view religion, how we worship. And like I said, I have to try really hard. I don't know if it comes naturally or more easy to some of you, but I have to try really hard to listen to God. The reason I want to listen to God is to receive these revelations, if I'm acting right, doing it right, etc. And I receive revelation on a lot of subjects. A lot of things I do, I try to receive that revelation. Some might call it these inspired or guided counsel or divine counsel. I always try to seek that divine counsel on all matters of everything from my relationship with my wife, my job, my friends, even my church tithing money. So many subjects. I'm thinking, okay, maybe if I try hard enough, I can listen what I am being told. And I'll be honest, sometimes I don't like what I'm being told, and I'm just hard-headed like that. And like I said, that's my relationship. That is what we go through, God and I, and Heavenly Father and the Holy Spirit. That is my cross to bear, and we each have our own. Anyways, I bring this up because I was going to skip these chapters because I did not want to start on my least favorite chapters. Then I thought about it and I said, wait, I do not think that this is a coincidence, that I am beginning a new adventure. And what is the first thing that I have to study? The rules and the regulations? I divinely felt that God was initiating yet another covenant with me. It was just too ironic. I've had so many failed ventures, so many failed things I wanted to do, but they just never worked out. And here I am. I'm thinking, okay, seek first the kingdom of God. And I'm feeling good about it. I'm learning a lot. And I'm hoping that I can express or teach or talk about these subjects, for I am slow of speech and not a very eloquent speaker. But this is what I'm hoping that this is. And what is the first subject? The rules and the regulations. Like anything that you join, a new group, whatever it may be. Oh, make sure you review the rules and the regulations. You get a new job and you receive the rules and the regulations. You get a new car, a new motorcycle, or a new bike, and it comes with the manual with rules and regulations. You need your driver's license. You need a motorcycle endorsement. You need whatever else you need to learn before you can operate that motor vehicle. You need a CDL license, Class A, whatever it may be. We are trained and taught the rules and regulations, and I divinely felt that God was trying to tell me, wait. Before you get into this, hold on. There are rules. I'm not saying I have to follow these exact rules that are in Exodus 19 to 34, because there are a lot of them, and they can be they can be out there. But what I'm saying is that rules in general, there are rules in general. So last week we were studying Exodus 14 through 18, but even before that, even from the beginning of Exodus, there was an underlying subject that I found that was calling out to me. And the subject that I think Exodus is so far is covenant. If we break it down into one word, sure, there are many different things that we can classify the subject as. Maybe the power of God, maybe power, or revelation, or whatever it may be. But to me, covenant is what I found to be calling out to me. And covenants, and just how God does not forget us, and He does not forget to keep His promises. The question I have to ask myself is, am I making those covenants, or more importantly, am I keeping those covenants? God loves building relationships with us, and I have trouble asking for anything from God, and I know that that's not a good thing. Like I said, we all have our own relationship, and I had past experiences and past covenants that I am still trying to keep today. You might be wondering, Scott, what kind of covenant was that you made with God, or what happened? Well, that could be a conversation for another day, but I can tell you this. If I'm trying to keep my covenant, then I will tell you that God has fulfilled His promise to me, and now it is my turn to fulfill my promise. And that, I feel like that is what I have been doing for the majority of my life. Maybe almost 30 years I've been trying to keep this covenant. Now you're thinking, Scott, what is that covenant? And maybe one day I can tell you. But right now, we're going to move on. I guess that I am entering into a new covenant with this venture, with this podcast, with this project. And God is telling me that there are things that I need to do first. Once again, thank you for joining me, and thank you for studying your scriptures. Okay, we're gonna first begin in Exodus 19. Now please forgive me for any discrepancies. I am trying to decipher the scripture to the best of my ability. I do have a few resources available to me that I use. There are the King James Version. And you can get a copy of these scriptures free on your phone device or computer at the churchofjesuschrist.org. I have that pulled up right now and just going through the chapters. You can create a login, you can make notes, and it is a great resource. But alongside that, like I said, I'm a new convert and just starting this church thing, and sometimes the scriptures are difficult to read for me. So I also have handy here the Message Bible, and it's basically the same thing. It's the Bible in contemporary language. It just kind of reads like a book, very simple to understand. So like I said, yes, bear with me. Feel free to reach out or comment any additional information you would like to share. Be greatly appreciated. I'm learning here, and I hope that we're all learning here. So here we go, Exodus 19. Alright, so we're starting off in Exodus 19, and we see that 3 months after leaving Egypt, the Israelites entered Sinai, and they set up camp. Now Moses goes up to meet God, and the Lord calls out to him from the mountain, saying to speak to the house of Jacob. Tell the people of Israel that you have seen what I did to the Egyptians, and how I carried you on eagle's wings and brought you. Alright, now side note, what is being said here? What do you think is being said here? We just got back from parting the Red Sea in June, July time, according to them. And so it's 3 months later, September, October-ish. And, the Red Sea was 10 miles alone. Crossing the Red Sea, they went 10 miles. Just crossing the Red Sea. I don't even know how much further they traveled after that to get to Sinai 3 months later. But I would imagine that it was a long ways. Now we get to Sinai and we're hiking up a mountain, and God calls to us from this mountain. And in the Bible, mountains historically are holy places. They're like temples. Whenever there is a mountain in the Bible, something special is happening. And God tells the people that, and God is telling Moses to tell the people that you've seen what I did to the Egyptians. And then tell them how I delivered you on eagle's wings. Now, I don't think a giant eagle came to give Moses and 2 million people a ride, because that's how much people left Egypt. It says 600,000 men, not including women and children, left Egypt. But if they were to get a rough estimate, including men, women, and children, they said it was about 2 million people, roughly estimated. But anyway, wow, what a Uber ride that would have been, right? Now that is service for flying my eagle. But I don't think that's what God is saying. What I do think that God is saying is, tell them how divinely I delivered you. As majestic as if it were on a beautiful eagle's wings who soars freely. That's what I'm thinking. And God says, hey, also one more thing. If you listen to me and keep my covenants, you will be my particular people. Now again, I do not think that word peculiar is using the same definition as maybe I am thinking about. I just thought I'd throw that out because, growing up, I was a peculiar kid. And I don't know if I would have confused peculiar with being special at the time anyway. It was like, what's that smell? Everyone's like, I don't know, but that's one peculiar kid. But, this definition seems to me that it means special. My special. God says, my special people unto me, above all people, for all the earth is mine. Now, he could be telling us a few things here. That he could be telling us that he is the great I am, kind of exclaiming it, letting us know he is who he is, and that if you listen and keep my covenants, you'll be my special treasure. And he says in Exodus chapter 9, verse 5 in the King James, he says that, then ye shall be a particular treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. That could also be open for interpretation. For the earth is mine, maybe saying, I have the earth, that is why you're mine. Or it could be, the whole earth is mine to choose from, but you're special. Just like in the Message Bible 19, the whole earth is mine to choose from, but you're special. A kingdom of priests, a holy nation. So they're saying, sure, the world is mine, and there are a lot of people, but you will be a special people above all people. Now we can take that in many ways, but I hope you take it kindly. A kind, merciful God. You could be like, I don't know what that means. Maybe that could be open to be taken offense from, but like I said, don't think that's what it means. So now we're looking at when Moses is calling the elders. He is calling the elders of the people, and he tells the word which the Lord commanded him. And something special happens here. Something peculiar happens here. The people that were just told all these things were unanimous in their response. They said, everything God says we will do. Moses took the people's answers, and this is just a little strange to me. I mean, also, the tone could mean something to me, and I'll tell you why I think this. This is the same people that last week were murmuring or, kind of like complaining or second guessing. They were like, okay, you know what? It's hot. We're hungry. We're thirsty. At least while we were slaves, we had food. We had water. And they were second guessing what was happening there. Granted, right? We said it was June, July time. It's super hot in the middle of the desert, Egypt. And it's got to be, 100 degrees on a good day. So I think we can forgive them a little bit for that. But I just thought it was a bit strange that how 3 months passes and it's like, okay, you know what? Whatever God says, yeah, sure, we'll do. Definitely. Whatever he says, we'll. Or, like I was saying, the tone, like everything God says, sure, yeah, we'll do. Or, yeah, everything God says, we'll do. Kind of like, clean your room. Like, oh, fine. Now, if we take a look at the King James, let's take a look at Exodus 19, verse 8. It says, all the people answered together and said, all that the Lord hath spoken, we will do. And Moses returned the word of the people unto the Lord. Okay, so we're getting a little bit more context. So for me, this is a perfect example of multiple Bibles. And I just like to cross-reference what's going on, what's being said, and I have so many questions, and it's good to have resources to find those answers. A great resource is a Church of Jesus Christ.org. So we've got, let's see, verse 10. And the Lord said unto Moses, I take that back again. Verse 8. All the people answered together and said, all that the Lord hath spoken we will do. And Moses returned the words of the people unto. So, everybody answered together. It was everybody in sequence. Or they just answered in agreement. Yeah, I don't think they were synchronized. That would be that would be almost as off as the Eagle Uber ride, wouldn't you think? I don't know, 2 million people. Okay, everybody, on the count of 3, this is what we're gonna say. Count of 3, we say, all that the Lord hath spoken we will do. Everybody ready? Okay, 3, 2, 1. All that the Lord hath spoken we will do. That was good, guys. That was good. Let's try it again. So when Moses comes back, we're ready. And we're okay, 3, 2. The back, we can't hear you. If you can get the volume just an octave up, that would be great. So I would go as far as saying that they were in agreement. Oh boy, isn't that a phrase that we can use so often in our day, every day? We just remember that phrase. I think everything God says we will do. Good obedient people. So anyway, carrying on to Exodus 19. So after that, he tells the people tell Moses to tell that to the Lord. We said, yes, sure, we'll do it. Whatever he says, we'll do it. You want me to eat lima beans? I'm gonna eat lima beans. You telling me that's all I can get? That's all I can get. All right. So now Moses tells God their answer, and God says to Moses, "Get ready. I'm about to come to you in a thick cloud so that the people can listen in and trust you completely when I speak with you." And again, Moses reported the people's answer to God. God said to Moses, "Go to the people. For the next 2 days, get these people ready to meet the holy God. Have them scrub their clothes so that on the 3rd day they'll be fully prepared. Because on the 3rd day, God will come down on Mount Sinai and make his presence known to all the people." Wow, what is going on here? Another side note. Okay, so what's going on here? What is going on here? All right, so God is telling Moses that to get the people ready to meet the holy God and to have them scrub their clothes so that they'll be fully prepared. Does that sound a little familiar of maybe a special day of the week that we happen to put on our best clothes and get all dolled up? We scrub our clothes. We try to look presentable. Yeah, that's right. You guessed it. Sundays, right? We go to church. We put on our Sunday best. That's even a term. Putting on your Sunday best. Yeah, there's lots of examples of people who were ready to meet the holy God and I can think of Latter-day Saint history, and I can touch on that briefly. I don't know a whole lot about it. I've studied it, but not with the effort that I should have been. So I will just briefly touch upon that story that I mentioned. So it was back in the early history of the LDS Church, and it was said that the Garden of Eden was located in Jackson County, Missouri, near the town of Independence. And now, like I said, I don't know the great specifics, but anyway, in those times they were traveling a lot. It was a very difficult time for the church, and their faith is what kept them going. And a lot of times during their travels, that faith was rooted in their belief that they were on their way to see God. And what a glorious thought or motivation that is to have, that keeps you going through those harsh environments, dealing with those hard times, all of the controversy surrounding it. And you're thinking, okay, I'm on my way to the Garden of Eden. I'm gonna see God. This is great. So that's something similar is happening here. He says, "Go, Moses, go tell the people, get ready. They're gonna witness. They're holy God." So that's inspiring. That's great. Now end of side note as we move on. Exodus 19, we are reading that God is telling Moses to get the people ready. And now here is the beginning of the rules. I was talking about the rules. There are a lot of rules in 19 to 34. And here we go. It begins with a warning. Warning, don't climb the mountain. Don't even touch its edge. Whoever touches the mountain dies. It's a certain death. So don't touch the mountain. Alright, if you touch the mountain, he's to be stoned. He even gives you how that death is going to occur. Rules and regulations. Oh, but look, there are options. Or shot with arrows, shot to death. Animal or man, whichever, doesn't matter, put to death. Wow. There are rules, and they are serious rules. Alright, so Moses, he comes down from the mountain, and he gets the people prepared for their holy meeting. He gives them their clothes, a good scrubbing. And then he addresses the people, be ready in 3 days. And one more thing, another rule, don't sleep with a woman. Alright, so we're nearing the end of Exodus 19, and so what's happening here is that Moses went down the mountain and he prepared the people. And then on the third day, there were loud, thunderous claps and flashes of lightning and a thick cloud covering the mountain. And then ear-piercing trumpet blasts are just blaring, and everyone in camp shuddered in fear. And Moses led the people out of the camp to meet God. They stood at attention at the base of the mountain. Mount Sinai was all smoke because God had come down on it as fire, and smoke poured from it like smoke from a furnace, and the whole mountain shuddered. And then a trumpet blast, and it grew louder and then louder. This trumpet is just blaring, and Moses spoke, and God answered in thunder. God descended to the peak of Mount Sinai, and God calls Moses up, and then Moses climbed up. God said to Moses, "Go down warn the people not to break through the barricades. I know they want to get a good look at the great holy God, but least many of them will die if they do. And the priests also to be warned to prepare themselves for the holy. And Moses goes to God and he says, but the people can't climb Mount Sinai. You've already warned us. You've already told us. Post boundaries around the mountain. Respect the holy mountain. Then God says, okay, well, go down and bring Aaron back with you next time. But make sure that the priest and the people do not break through and come up to God, lest he break out against them. So Moses went down to the people and he told them. All right, and that was Exodus chapter 19. And now, what can we take from this? What have we just learned? What kind of thoughts, what kind of feelings are we having right now? Maybe it's sacred experiences require preparation. Now, always be prepared. That could be one. We got a lot of great information that we are absorbing in when Lord told Moses that the children of Israel need to be prepared, for they are going to witness the holy God. Now all you gotta do is keep your covenants with him. Keep your covenants with him. Now I'm curious, how do you prepare for spiritual? Maybe you're a churchgoer and you participate in the sacrament, the communion, or whatever your church might call the partaking of the body of Christ. Maybe you prepare for that experience. We call it the sacrament. Maybe you have a morning ritual that you spiritually prepare yourself or physically prepare yourself to partake in that sacrament, communion. Or how about temple ordinances? Visiting the temple is huge. Maybe you prepare yourself for going to the temples. Now, one last question before we move on to Exodus 20 is, how can we help others prepare? It is great that we are learning the gospel, but it is even greater if we can teach others the gospel. How are some ways, or how's one way that I can help someone else prepare? I think that would be a great exercise and something to think about as we are leaving Exodus chapter 19, going on to chapter 20. All right, so now we are entering Exodus chapter 20, and this is when the Lord reveals the 10 Commandments. So how about that piece of knowledge? You're talking with your friends and the subject of the 10 Commandments come up, and you're like, you know what? I know exactly where that is. That's Exodus chapter 20. And everyone just breaks out into applause, and they're just like, wow, you knew exactly where the 10 Commandments were. That is amazing. And all of a sudden, you're the coolest kid in school. Everybody knows your name, and you're at the peak of popularity, and just amazing things are happening to you, and your life is being blessed because all of the knowledge of God that we receive from reading and studying our scriptures. What? That type of thing doesn't happen? No? I mean, surely the subject of the 10 Commandments come up while you're hanging out with your friends, right? Right? I mean, gosh. I mean, surely the people of your school can appreciate the Ten Commandments. Am I wrong here? I don't know. I feel like I'm onto something. But something else to think about. But yeah, I mean, I can tell you, I didn't know where the Ten Commandments were. There's no way I could have been the coolest kid in school. There's learning this. I'm like, Exodus. Okay, I knew Moses, right? I knew Moses. I think everybody knows Moses, parting of Red Sea. But I didn't know where in the Bible it was. For all I knew, it was the chapter called the Red Sea. I don't know. But so that's an interesting tidbit, a little tangent there. So we've entering Exodus 20, and that is exactly where the Ten Commandments are. And Israel is to bear witness that the Lord has spoken from heaven. And the children of Israel are forbidden to make gods of silver or gold. We'll get into that later. So in chapter 20, Exodus, verse 1, it says, "And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage." It's proclaiming that is what just happened. You might be confused, but be confused no longer. Because God said, I am your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the life of slavery. No other gods, only me. Which brings us to the beginning of the Ten Commandments, which is, thou shalt have no other gods before me. And next is, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, that is in the water under the earth. And that translation is from the King James Version. That one is a little rough, I gotta admit. Luckily, I have another resource, and I will read from the Message Bible, and it says that I don't know if it's translated, but another way of saying that commandment goes like this: no carved gods of any size, shape, or form, or anything whatever them, and don't serve them, because I am God, your God, and I am a most jealous God, punishing the children for any sins their parents pass on to them, to the third and yes, even the fourth generation of those who hate me. But I am unswervingly loyal to the thousands who love me and keep my commandments. And next is no using the name of God, your God, in curses or silly banter. God won't put up with the irreverent use of his name. And next, we have observe the Sabbath day, to keep it holy. Work 6 days and do everything you need to, but on the seventh day, that is Sabbath day to God, your God. Don't work. Not you, not your son, not your daughter, or your servant, nor your maid, nor your animals, nor even foreign guests visiting in your town. On seventh day, that is God's day. And the next commandment is to honor your father and mother, so that you'll live a long time in the land of God. Next is no murder. Then it's no adultery, and no stealing, and no lies about your neighbor, and no lusting after your neighbor's house, or wife, or servant, or maid, or ox, or donkey. Don't set your heart on anything that is your neighbor's. Now at this time all the people were experiencing the thunder and lightning and the trumpet blast. and the smoking mountains, and they were afraid. They pulled back, they stood at a distance. They said to Moses, "You speak to us and we'll listen, but don't have God speak to us or we'll die." These people are scared. And Moses spoke to the people. He said, "Don't be afraid. God has come to test you and instill a deep and reverent awe within you so that you won't sin." And people kept their distance while Moses approached this thick cloud where God was. And God said to Moses, "Give this message to the people of Israel. You've experienced firsthand how I spoke with you from heaven. Don't make gods of silver or gods of gold and then set them alongside me. Make me an earthen altar. Sacrifice your whole burnt offerings, your peace offerings, your sheep, your cattle on it. Every place where I cause my name to be honored in your worship. I'll be there myself and bless you. If you use stones to make my altar, don't use dressed stones. If you use a chisel on the stones, you'll profane the altar. Don't use steps to climb to my altar, because that will expose your nakedness." And this is the end of Exodus 20. Exodus 20 is really short. It's basically just the 10 commandments. And then also the bit about no making gods of silver and gold. And that part is important because that does come up again. So remember that, Exodus 20. Now you can tell all of your friends and your family that where exactly that they can find the 10 commandments, because I know exactly what you're thinking. You're saying, "Scott, what kind of knowledge can I share with others to help them grow in their faith and become?" And that answer is Exodus. You can share with them Exodus, for there's so many lessons and messages to be shared, and especially Exodus 20. And I will end Exodus 20 by sharing the two most greatest commandments, and that is to love your God and also to love your neighbors. Because if you follow no other commandments but those two commandments, then you would have already followed all the commandments. How about that one? Yes, I like that one too. That is great. You follow those two main commandments. You're probably thinking, "Scott, there's no way I can remember all of this." Well, let's break it down to the two most important. Love God and love your neighbors, and love others. And you should be okay. You'll be all right. Now, as we move on to Exodus 21, all the way to about Exodus 32. I know that is a huge skip, but we have a lot of scripture to cover in this week. And like I said, a lot of it is rules and regulations. And I wish that I could get into the weeds and really do a deep dive into this. But I am fairly new, and we are just studying the scriptures together, trying to learn as much as possible with just me today. You know, I'm hoping to have some visitors and guests on the show that we can have some enlightening conversations, but I really don't want to get into the weeds of the rules and the regulations just yet on this episode, because there are a lot of them. So that's chapter 20 to 32. That is 12 chapters of rules, and they get pretty detailed all the way down to like a recipe. He gives recipes to make anointing, how to make an altar of acacia wood, and I do highly recommend to go over them. But for time's sake and quality of content. We are just going to acknowledge that there are a lot of rules that we need to follow, that we need to take a look at in Exodus 20 through 31. But we're going to jump right back in, because now we are in Exodus 32. We're going to take a step back and we're going to rewind, edit. And I don't want to say skip the rules because they're important, but as we read the Old Testament, we sometimes find that things are or were clearly important to the Lord, but sometimes we feel that they're not really relevant today. That's a completely normal feeling. But especially in the Exodus chapters, these chapters describe in detail Israel's tabernacle in the wilderness and the animal sacrifices to perform there. The tabernacle was, it was a portable temple, and it was the Lord's dwelling place among his people. And we have temples today, modern temples, and they share similarities with that tabernacle, but they don't match the descriptions in Exodus. We don't kill animals in the temples. No, I'm kidding. No, we don't kill animals. No, actually, so we feel that it doesn't apply to us. It's not really relevant. That is because that is the old covenant. And good news. We have great news. The Savior's atonement ended animal sacrifice almost 2,000 years ago. So these are the rites and the rituals, the rules, and I don't know if I'd go as far as calling them recipes, but that is what they had, and that was what made up, the tabernacle, the Lord's dwelling place for his people. So as I said, unfortunately, I would love to get into these chapters. I really don't think I'd be able to hold an inspired conversation as much as I would like to. For I feel like Moses in this moment, for him slow of speech and not very eloquent. I cannot speak eloquent. Maybe one day we're gonna build this podcast and we're gonna have some guests, so something to look forward to. But as we move on from these chapters, I do have some points to ponder. So my first question would be, how would you respond to someone who says that the 10 Commandments were given a long time ago and do not apply today? Because as I just said, that's a fair point. But I think I would go as far as saying that it is important to learn the history of our people, of our God, of our religion, and this is undisputably their history. I feel like this can apply to my life as if every time I bear my testimony. Bearing my testimony, I may talk about things that do not feel very relevant today, or people may not think applies to them, but it is still a spiritual experience that helps you to grow. Now, as we take in all of these commandments, like I said in the beginning, there seems to be a reoccurring theme here about keeping covenants. And if we're talking about the 10 Commandments, we can look at Exodus 20, verse 6. And it says that showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandment. And we can think how the Lord has fulfilled that promise in our lives. So basically what that comes down to is that he is saying that those that do keep their commandments, that he is steadily loyal to those who love him and keep my commandments. And this could absolutely go back to that other point of ponder question that I had. How would you answer someone that says, these commandments are not relevant today? Well, it says here that God will remain steadily loyal to those who love and keep his commandments. And I think that's a pretty good reason. That may be all the reason I need. All right, so now we're going to get into Exodus 32. Now, Exodus 32 is an interesting chapter, and this is going to be good to get into. I know I was perhaps murmuring earlier about the rules and how much rules there were and how I felt about them, and how I wish that I'd started in an earlier chapter when Moses parted the Red Sea, and it would be just so much better to talk about. Well, guess what? We have some action coming up. And in Exodus 32, it begins when the people are realizing that Moses is taking forever to come back down off the mountain. These people are eager to serve, apparently, because they rallied around Aaron and they're like, hey, he's taking forever. Do something. I don't know, just make a god for us and we'll worship it. Come on. Moses is taking forever. Who knows what happened to him? Anything could have happened to him. Let's praise and worship. And at this point, Aaron told them, gosh, I don't know. Okay, all right, fine. I tell you what, take your gold rings and all of your gold earrings and anything of gold that you might have and give it to me. Go ahead, go around the village and collect it. And that's exactly what they did. And they removed all their gold from everybody, and they gave it to Aaron. And Aaron cast all of the gold and he formed it into a calf with, they call it an engraving tool. And I'm thinking, okay, well, first thing that comes to mind is one of those terrible birthday parties. Okay, I wouldn't say terrible birthday party. I've never been to any terrible birthday party, but okay, so you have a balloon animal, you're at this birthday party, and they're trying to make a balloon animal, and this balloon artist is trying their best, but unfortunately, when I asked to make a giraffe, it kind of looked like a bicycle or a hot dog. So anyway, I'm thinking in my mind, how has he just formed these gold rings and trinkets into a calf with an engraving tool? And he says, ta-da, hey, here's a calf. Let's worship it. And tink, 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 tink. Oh, okay, Aaron, what is that? It's a calf. Clearly, it's a calf. And this is our God. There you go. But anyway, so Aaron does this, and the people responded with enthusiasm. And these are your gods, O Israel, who brought you up from Egypt. And Aaron is just taking in the situation. He even built an altar for, I guess it's a calf, a golden calf. And then he announced, tomorrow is a feast day to God. And there's this whole thing, and they even served up sacrifices, whole burnt offerings and peace offer. And then they were eating, they were drinking, they were partying. Oh my goodness, could you imagine what God is thinking? Right, this is one of the commandments. No, like, worshiping gods or idols. That was pretty sure. Oh, what was that chapter of the 10 Commandments? I bet you guys know it. You guys seem like some cool people. Who would know exactly which chapter and book in the Bible I can find the 10 Commandments? I feel like we went over this. So yeah, you are absolutely right. It's in Exodus 20. All right, so right here, Exodus 20, verse 4. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, which is him. And the next one is, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them or serve them. And geez, they just did all of that, didn't they? And I don't know the exact timeline, but he went up to the mountain, and before he can come down, everything turned around and just build something already. Let's worship it. Moses is like, oh man, I climbed one mountain, and what's going on here? What's going on? All right, so they're partying, they're drinking, they're loving this. I think it's a calf. It looks kind of, I don't know. We'll call it a calf. And God spoke to Moses, and he says, Moses, get down there. Your people, you know the one that you saved from Egypt, the one that we saved from Egypt not too long ago, right? They've fallen to pieces. In this short amount of time, they've turned away from what I just said, what I just commanded. And they made a molten, I don't know, looks like a calf. They're calling it a calf. They made a molten object. And they're worshiping it. Moses, get down there. Come on. They've sacrificed to it and everything. And they're all like, oh, these gods of Israel that brought you from Egypt. I brought them back from Egypt. It was me. And now they're worshiping this calf. So God says to Moses, I look at these people, oh, they're stiff-necked. They're stubborn, they're hard-headed people. And it says, leave me alone. I gotta think. I gotta give my anger a chance to reign and burst into flames here. And I think I'm gonna incinerate them. But you go down there, tell them what I said, and I'll make a great nation out of you. But it's not gonna end so well for them. So hurry up and get down there. I'm a little mad right now. I need time. And I love this part because Moses is now counseling to God, and he tries to calm down. And in my head, I'm thinking, this is Zazu guiding or giving counsel to Mufasa. A very, very interesting part. And Moses is saying, wait a minute, God, why would you lose your temper with your people? Why, you brought them out of Egypt in a tremendous demonstration of all of your power and strength. Why let the Egyptians say he had it in for them? Or he brought them out of Egypt so he could just kill them on the mountains? Don't do that. Don't let them win that. Come on. Let's think of something. Stop your anger. I know you're angry. It hasn't been long and they already turned their back on us. Just think twice about bringing the evil against your people, right? It's our people. Remember? Think of Abraham. Think of Isaac. Think of Israel. Your servants to whom gave your word, telling them, I will give you many children. as many as the stars in the sky. Remember, ring any bells? And I'll give you this land to your children for their land forever. Let's think about this. Let's not act in anger. Let's calm down a bit. And so I guess God heeded his counsel, and God did think twice, because he decided not to incinerate all of those people. But we'll revisit that in a bit. But what I want to say right now is that Moses then turned around and went back down the mountain. And this is the famous depiction that we're probably very familiar of Moses holding 2 tablets coming down from Mount Sinai. And this is that moment. We are right there. That moment in your head that when you're thinking about the 10 Commandments, this is it. All right, so he comes down the mountain carrying these 2 tablets. And the tablets were written on the both sides, front and back. And God made those tablets, and God broke the tablets and engraved them. And when Joshua heard the sound of the people shouting noisily, he said, "That's the sound of war in the camp." But Moses said, "No, those aren't songs of victory. No. And those aren't songs of defeat. I hear people singing. I hear songs of people throwing a party." He said, "God told me what's going on," along those lines. And that's exactly what it was. It's exactly what it was. Moses came near the camp and saw that calf. And the people were dancing. His anger flared. He then could, he experienced that anger that God felt, and he like, okay, this is why he was so mad. All right, I get it now. And he threw down the tablets and smashed them into pieces at the foot of the mountain. He took the calf and he melted it down with fire. He pulverized it to powder, then scattered it in the water and made the Israelites drink it. How's that for? I mean, at least Moses here, he melted down the calf in the fire. If it's not in my book, I don't think Aaron did that. It says he chiseled with some tools. I don't know. I'm going to think about that, but we're going to move on. And Moses said to Aaron, "What on earth did these people ever do to you that you involve them in this huge sin?" He doesn't blame the people. This isn't the people. This was Aaron's fault. He knew better. Moses trusted him, and he said, "What have these people done? Look what you've done to. What did you?" And Aaron immediately tries to explain, "Master, don't be angry. You know this people and how set on evil they are. They told me to make them a God who'll lead us. This Moses, the man who brought us out of Egypt, we don't know what's happened to him. They were so convincing. And so I said, who has gold?" And I took their gold and I threw it in the fire, and it came out this calf. Oh, okay. He did throw it. That makes me feel better. Okay. That helps my story. Okay. I'm glad we got that far. Yeah, that was something to imagine. But anyway, we're moving on. We're not worrying about the little things. And so Moses saw that the people were simply running wild, and Aaron let them run wild. He's still blaring, "Aaron, this is your fault," disgracing themselves before their enemies. And he took up a position at the entrance to the camp and said, "Hey, whoever is on God's side, join me." And all the Levites stepped. And he then told them, "God's orders, the God of Israel, strap on your swords and go to work." And they crisscrossed the camp, and from one end to the other, kill your brother, friend, neighbor. So he's mad. He's mad, and there has to be consequences, right? And the Levites carried out Moses' order. 3,000 of the people were killed that day. Moses said, "You confirmed your ordination to, and at great cost, even killing your sons and brothers." and God has blessed you. So he's thanking them. He's thanking. I know things have been crazy. Thank you for choosing the right side. He chose the right side. He made a good decision today, and God is blessed. So Moses went back to God and said, "This is terrible. These people have sinned, and it was no small sin. It was an enormous sin. I know, huge. They made gods with gold for themselves, and it was terrible. And now, if you will only forgive their sin, but if not, erase me out of your book that you've written." And God said, "I'll only erase from my book those who sin against me. For right now, you go and lead the people to where I told you. And look, my angel is gonna go ahead of you. On the day, though, when I settle accounts, their sins will certainly be part of the settlement." He's saying, but on that day, when it's time, I will definitely punish them for their sin. And how did God do that? God sent a plague on the people because of the calf that they and Aaron had made. You know what? I'm kind of this calf thing. Even if you melted down the gold, unless he had a mold, Aaron could be one heck of a craftsman. I don't know, but it's kind of funny for me to think it's just a ball of gold and you chisel out. I can see it now. And I'm sure you can, maybe give that a try, or even that would be a great object lesson. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna remember this. A big ball of Play-Doh, and you do your best to make a calf. I want to see this. Do it. That sounds so fun. Well, anyway, that is Exodus chapter 32. All right, so Exodus 33. So we just had a pretty close call, right? We avoided something huge. God was going to do something very bad. Moses intervened, kind of counseled him to maybe not think with such anger. I'm sure we can all relate to our thoughts and decisions becoming overwhelmed by our anger. And that is what has happened to God. And he was seeing red. And Moses calms him down. Maybe we have that special someone, that peculiar someone in our lives that has that ability, that power to calm us down. At least I hope we do. Some people are not so lucky. Some people have to work on it very hard. Sometimes it takes a lot of effort. But some people have that special person in that we can extremely grateful, feel utterly blessed to have in our life. That special person is Moses here we're reading about to God. So in Exodus 33, tensions are still a little high. And God says to Moses, okay, now go on your way from here, you and the people you brought up from the land of Egypt. Now head for the land which I promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And that's the same land that I said I'll give to your descendants. All right, go ahead, you can have it. Now that we've avoided that catastrophe. And God says, I'll send an angel ahead of you, and I'll drive out all of the inhibitors, the Canaanites, the Amorites, and Hittites, the Hivites, and the land is flowing with milk and honey. But I won't be with you, person. For you're stubborn, you're hard-headed, a stiff-necked people. Least I destroy you on your journey. And when the people heard this harsh verdict, right, he's thinking, I'm not going to be there because you're stubborn and hard-headed. And then the people, they plunged into gloom and were very sad. No one put on joy, none of that. And God said to Moses, tell the Israelites, you're one hard-headed people. I couldn't stand for even a moment or I'd destroy you. So take off all your jewelry until I figure out what to do. Alright, sounds like he still hasn't. It sounds like he's like, okay, I might incinerate you. I'm still angry. Okay, do these things that I asked. So the Israelites stripped themselves of their jewelry, and Moses used to cancel that. We are leaving that part. But Moses took a tent and he set it up outside of the camp, and it was some distance away from the camp, and he called it the tent of meeting. Anyone who sought God would go to the tent outside of the camp. And it went like this. When Moses would go to the tent, all of the people would stand at attention. Each man would take his position at the entrance to this tent with his eyes on Moses until he entered the tent. And whenever Moses entered the tent, the pillar of cloud descended to the entrance, and God spoke with Moses. And Moses said to God, look, you tell me lead these people, but you don't let me know whom you're going to send with. You tell me I know you well, and you are special to me. If I am so special to you, let me in on your plans. This way I will continue to be special to you. Don't forget, this is your people, your responsibility. And God said, my presence will go with you. I'll see the journey to the end. Moses said, if your presence doesn't call this trip off right now, how else will it be known that you're with me and you travel with us or not? Are you traveling with us? And God says to Moses, all right, just as you say, this also I will do, for I know you well, and you are special to me. I know you by. Moses said, please let me see you. I said, I will make my goodness pass right in front of you. I'll call out the name God right before you. I'll treat well whomever I want to treat well, and I'll be kind to whomever I want to be. God continued, but you may not see my face. No one can see my face. No man sees my face. No one sees me. And God said, look, here is a place right beside. Put yourself on this. When my glory passes by, I'll put you on the cleft and cover you with my hand until I've passed. Then I'll take my hand away and you won't see my. All right, so we're getting into. I love reading Moses and God's relationship with each other. It sounds like they have a really great relationship, and honestly, I feel like God and I also have a similar relationship, that there's communication both ways, and could be easy to assume an almighty, all-knowing, powerful God wouldn't be as understanding or as gracious as we are reading through this conversation with Moses and God. But here we are, and that is the sort of covenant relationship that we strive to build every day in our lives. All right, now as we begin Exodus chapter 34, we are reading that God is speaking to Moses, and he's telling Moses to cut out 2 more tablets of stone. Remember, the originals broke when Moses came down from the mountain, but he's celebrating and partying and celebrating those false idols, those gods that Aaron melted down gold and carved and chiseled out and made a calf out of. And that was when Moses dropped tablets, both of them shattered into pieces. So now we're reading that God is telling Moses, cut out 2 more tablets of stone, just like the originals, and engrave the exact words that were on the originals. And so God tells Moses to be ready in the morning to climb Mount Sinai, and that he is going to meet him on top. He tells him, don't bring anybody with you, nobody, not a single soul. The whole mountain must be clear of people, even animals. Not even a sheep or oxen can be grazing in front of the mountain. He wants it completely. And so Moses cuts out 2 more tablets of the stone, just like the originals. And he got up early in the morning and he climbed Mount Sinai, just as God had commanded. And he's carrying the 2 tablets of stone. And God descended in the cloud and took up his position there beside him and called out the name of God. And God passed in front of him and called out, God, God, a God of mercy and grace, a God of mercy and grace, endlessly patient, with so much love, so deeply loyal in love for 1,000 generations, forgiving iniquity, rebellion, and sin. Still, he doesn't ignore sin. He holds sons and grandsons responsible for his father's sin to the third or even fourth generation. And at once, immediately, Moses falls to the ground and worships. Please, O Master, if you see anything good in me, please, Master, travel with us. Even though we're hard-headed, even though we are stiff-necked, forgive our iniquity and sin. And then God goes on to say that as of right now, I am making a covenant. In full sight of your people, I will work wonders that have never been created in all the earth, in any nation. Then all the people whom you're living will see how tremendous God's work, the work I'll do for you. Now take careful note of all I command you to. I am clearing your way. I'm driving out the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. Stay vigilant. Don't let your guard down, lest you make covenants with the people who live in the land that you are entering, and they trip you up. Then he says, tear down their altars, smash their phallic pillars, chop down their fertility poles. Don't worship any other god. God, his name, is the jealous one. He goes on and he says that he is a jealous God, and to be careful that you don't make a covenant with the people who live in the land and take up their sex and religion life. Don't join them in meals at their altars. Marry your sons to their women, and women who take up their covenants, who take up with any convenient god or goddess, and will get your sons to do the same thing. Don't make molten gods of yourself. And this is a chapter that I wish I could have an inspired conversation with, that I wish I had the insight and I was prepared enough to dig into all of these meats and potatoes that we're getting into chapter, because I am sure that there are lots of connections and there are a lot of stories that are very relevant to what is being said here. And I just do not have that ability yet. I am a convert and we are doing our best, and there is a saying called line by line, precept by precept. Some of this stuff you may not be getting all of it, and that's okay, because I was 100% that way. I would hear these things, I would study these things, I would learn these things, but none of it made any sense to me. But slowly but surely things start to come to me, and the saying is line by line, precept by precept, and it is saying that we learn what we need to learn, what was given us to learn at that moment. When we need to learn those things at that moment, we're not gonna immediately understand a lot of things until that moment. And when that moment comes, and it will, then, only then will we understand and learn what is being said and taught to us. And for me, this is one of those, because I could have sworn that there was a commandment or a rule in previous chapters saying, don't chisel a dressed stone, or don't use any tools to do the stone. And here we see chapter 34. It says in Exodus chapter 30, verse 27, and the Lord said unto Moses, write thou these words, for after the tenor of these words I have made a covenant with thee and with Israel. And he was there with the Lord 40 days and 40 nights. He did not eat bread nor drink water, and he wrote upon the tablets the words of the covenant and the 10 Commandments. So, I am just saying that it is worth finding other resources to get into what I can't, because I'm letting you know that there are things I am missing here, and hopefully they will come to me when I am ready to receive that line. So I thought I'd go ahead and mention that. Now, returning back to Exodus 34. Now Moses has, we just read, he spent 40 days and 40 nights. And when he came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 tablets of testimony in Moses' hands, here's the crazy. Everybody noticed that Moses' face was glowing. And it was glowing because he was talking to God. And this kind of spooked people out, right? And it says that the skin of his face shone. And referring to other translations, it means glowing. And they were afraid to come near him. And Moses caught on to them, and Aaron and all the rulers of the congregation returned unto him. And Moses talked with them. And afterwards, all the children of Israel came, and he gave them the commandments, all that the Lord had spoken with him in Mount Sinai. And after Moses was done speaking with them, he put a veil on his face. And now even then, here he goes, another inspired conversation or factoid moment where I could connect the veil going over Moses' face to the veil between heaven and earth. Missed opportunities, but we're learning and we are growing every day, but definitely worth checking out. I just want to point that out. And Moses has the veil over his face now, but when he went into the presence of God to speak, he removed and he came out. And when he came out and told the Israelites that he had been commanded that they would see Moses' face, his skin glowing, and that he would again put the veil on his face until he went back in to speak with God. So we're getting a lot of good information here, and not, like I said, that symbolism of the veil on his face. I don't know if it's a self-conscious thing, if it is an inspired thing, if it is a biblical thing. I encourage you, if you have any insights on anything that we've talked about today from Exodus 19 to 34, or anything at all for that matter, go ahead and comment or reach out to me any way you can, and we'll definitely, it is great to learn, and it is great to have conversations, and hopefully other people will benefit from that as well. Well, that is the show for today, and I thank you for joining for my first episode of Convert, and I hope that you enjoyed what was said here. I hope that you're looking forward to next week's lesson. I hope that you are already thinking about all the people that you can share this with, because they are going through similar journeys that we are all going through. Different times, different ways, but we are all going through that same journey. And I thank you for joining me once again, and we'll see you next week.